Story 1. Haunted Doll. When we think of haunted dolls, we think of creepy old Victorian china. You are probably not lying. But don't get too used to children's toys right away, as the Disney Frozen Elsa dolls given away in the Houston area on Christmas Day 2013 were apparently haunted earlier this year. According to KPRC 2 Houston News, press the button on the necklace and the doll will read a line from the movie Frozen and sing Let Go. Her mother, Emily Madonia, said, "In 2015, I began to alternate between Spanish and English. There was no button to change them. My family has owned this doll for over 6 years and has never changed the batteries." In December 2019, the family decided to give up the creepy doll. A few weeks later, they found the doll on a bench in the living room. Madonia told KPRC 2 Houston News, "The kids claimed they didn't leave them, but I believed them because they didn't dig up the trash outside." At this point, Elsa stopped singing the English version of Let It Go altogether and only spoke Spanish when pressed. They soon left, but when they returned, Elsa was waiting for them in the backyard. This time the family mailed Elsa to a family friend in Minnesota. A friend placed a ghost doll in front of the bumper of her truck. Story 2. Devil Worship in Florida. Friends noticed that his 35-year-old school teacher Daniel Harkins from St. Petersburg, Florida began acting strangely in June 2012, showing an interest in satanic rituals. Rice Field. According to the Tampa Bay Times, she was quickly arrested for abusing 7 former students. Daniel Harkins tells the children that when a group of people gather around a small fire near the pier in St. Louis, they have to cauterize the wounds to keep the spirits from returning. Police say wind blew the flames out while Mr. Harkins was holding a lighter. Therefore, she was urged to sprinkle perfume on his hands before lighting the fire. According to the police, the boy received 2 burns. Another teen was beheaded with a broken bottle, police said. Harkins used the flame to heat up a small key, which he used to cauterize his wounds. The police were called after a friend of one of the students present at the ceremony raised the alarm. "I did not comment," NBK said. Investigators said they spoke to Harkins, but she did not explain which religion justifies such a drastic measure. "She didn't tell me exactly what she was trying to achieve," said Putz of the St. Petersburg Police Department. Story 3. Nightmare. My grandmother had recurring nightmares all her life. I woke up before I saw what it was. She was in her 40s and was on vacation with her husband, father, and aunt. They booked the hotel at the last minute, so I had to take 2 double rooms on opposite sides of the floor. When my dad wakes up around 3 a.m., I automatically know something is wrong. He calls Daddy in the dark. No answer. The night light turns on. "Daddy," he said a little louder this time. So far there is no answer. Worried, he got out of bed and shook his father. He doesn't wake up. My father ran down the corridor of the hotel to my grandmother's room and began to knock on the door. Grandma anxiously opens the door and Dad screams. He leads her down the hallway. Long corridor. Go to the last door on the left. When my grandmother came to the door and turned left, she saw my husband dead in his bed. Acute cardiovascular disease. Story 4. Faceless Man. In 1990, in a village far from Quebec, Canada, my 2 brothers and I slept on a cold winter night. We were 1, 3, and 6 years old. I went in, walked, and told myself that our home was a village 2 miles away. My father woke up and went to the living room where the man was. His friend died instantly and his scalp fell in front of his face. His father saw him first. He saw a faceless man. He was drunk. The fact that his face was partially frozen may have saved his life. I was taken to a hospital 25 kilometers from my house and saved my life. Dad still congratulates me that the noise didn't wake me up in the middle of the night.